Okay. Meron akong sinend sa GC ninyo na parang keto correction is doon sa mga previous worksheets ninyo. Okay ba yun? So, i-review nyo ha. I-check nyo na lang. Then, para at least makita nyo kung naging tama ba yung mga answers ninyo. Okay? So, i-review nyo yon. Wala pa doon yung last na ano, yung pinaka-latest na worksheet which is about vector. Wala pa doon eh. Tapos, kung medyo nalito kayo doon sa latest na worksheet, doon sa dalawang item lang yun eh, no? Part B. Kasi yung part A, hindi ko naman pina-turn in sa inyo sa Google Classroom eh. So, parang ano lang yun, parang seat work lang. Pero yung part B, sabi ko sa inyo ay deadline dapat ngayon, ano? Nasagutan nyo ba yun?
Opo, sir.
Opo.
Okay.
Opo,
O doon
sir.
sa mga nalito, baka may mga nalito kasi sa inyo eh. Parang ganito yun eh. Ano? Vector A. So, meron kang vector A. So, yun. Vector B. And vector C. So, di ba iyan yung first step doon sa video lecture na ginawa ko. Sabi ko sa inyo, ilagay nyo sa Cartesian plane, ano. Pagkatapos noon, kunin mo daw yung summation ng lahat ng horizontal at vertical component. Naalala niyo yung doon sa video, sabi ko kasi sa inyo doon, any vectors daw directed at a certain angle. Pagtiyagaan nyo na lang muna ha, mouse kasi yung gamit ko, hindi pa din dumadating yung order ko na na writing pad, writing tablet pa yun. Probably by next week, medyo okay na yung magiging discussion natin dito sa pag mga computation. Sabi ko kasi sa inyo doon, any vectors daw directed to certain angle, so angle theta, magkakaroon siya ng dalawang components, di ba? Ano yung component na yun na sinasabi ko? Horizontal component, tsaka vertical component. Okay ba yun? So, vertical component, Vy, tsaka horizontal component, Vx. Sir, paano ko makukuha tong Vx tsaka Vy? Ay, yun na yung sa review nyo ng trigonometric function, yun sa patowa, di ba? Kasi itong Vy na to, ito din siya eh. Oh. Ito din siya eh. Yan din siya eh. O, di right triangle na yan. Ano? Kung may right triangle kang ganyan, alam mo na kaagad na ito ay opposite. At ito naman isa ay adjacent. Okay ba yan? So, kuha mo na yung dalawang sides. Kuha mo na yung vertical component, Vy, at Vx. Yung Vy will be your opposite and your Vx will be your adjacent. Okay? So, sabi ko dun sa step 2, kunin mo daw lahat ng vertical at saka lahat ng horizontal. So, ang vertical component ni vector A ay di ito. Ito siya. Horizontal component at vertical component. Ito naman. Diba? Okay? Tapos, vertical component, horizontal component ni vector V, o vertical component ni B, ito siya. Ewan ko ha, masalong gumugulo yata dito sa diagram ko. Ito yung vertical component ni vector B. Ito naman yung horizontal component ni vector. O ganun din. So, patuwad lang din yan. Kunin mo yung dalawang side. Okay? Kapag na-determine mo na yung vertical at horizontal, edi kunin mo na yung summation. I-add mo lahat ng horizontal. I-add mo daw ito. I-add mo to. Horizontal. Tsaka itong horizontal nito. Siyempre, si vector C, wala namang horizontal to kasi purely vertical eh. Diba yan? Pag na-add mo na yan, isunod mo naman daw yung vertical. Okay? I-add mo to. At saka ito. At saka itong isa. Si vector C. Okay? And then, pag nakuha mo na yung summation ni Vy at Vx, edi pwede ka na mag-proceed dun sa step 3 tayo. Magdodrawing ka na ng right triangle gamit yung value ng summation ng vertical at saka gamit yung value ng summation ng horizontal. Okay? Tapos, proceed ka na dun sa last part. Kunin mo na yung angle. Hindi ko na sasagutin, syempre, ano nyo yun eh. I-turn in nyo yun eh, di ba? Yung may mga iba yata nalito, no? Sige, i-move natin yung deadline hanggang this week Saturday. Okay, yung pag-turn in. Babaguhin ko na lang mamaya sa Google Class. Sana masagutan nyo ha. Ngayon, kapag talagang medyo nalito pa din, ay i-consider nyo yung mga books na sinend ko sa inyo. Parehas lang din naman ang explanation, baka mas maintindihan niyo yung sa book. Okay? May ganun kasing estudyante na mas prefer yung mga books compare sa sa mga video, sa mga sound, sa mga audio na explanation. So try nyo, pag medyo nalito pa din, try to consider reading the book. Okay ba yun? Anyway, yung concept naman yan, kahit kumbaga hindi naman nababago yan eh. Yan pa din at yan yung mga procedure in getting the resultant of 2 or more vectors mathematically. Hindi man nababago yan eh. Okay, so after vectors, proceed na tayo with motion. Ayan, motion tayo. Na-discuss ko ba to last week ka? Sagot nga kayo.
Hindi pa po, sir.
Ngayon pa lang talaga, no? Baka dun sa kabilang section ko na-discuss.
Yes po, sir.
Hindi ako nakagawa ng lecture video kasi every Monday ako nagawa ng lecture video dapat sa school. Kaso ay di ba wala namang pasok kaya hindi ako nakapunta. So instead na papanoorin nyo na lang to, ay di no choice tayo kundi discuss na lang. Okay? Okay, so today I will talk to you about motion. So I'm sure most of you or all of you are familiar with this kasi parang grade 9 yata to if I'm not mistaken eh. Grade 9 na physics na science na-introduce na kayo dito. So tingnan natin kung ma-review kung naalala niyo pa yung mga concept. Okay? So kinematics, pag sinabi ko kasi class na kinematics, ang classical mechanics kasi nahati pa sa dalawa yan eh. Okay? Nahati pa sa dalawa yan eh. Kinetics and kinematics. Okay, so tama ba? Hindi pala. Yung mechanics nahati pa sa dalawa. Statics tsaka dynamics, ayun. Alala ko. Statics tsaka dynamics. Pag sinabi kong statics, yun yung mga system na at rest, hindi gumagalaw. Okay ba yun? Pag sinabi ko naman na dynamics, yun yung mga system that are in motion na nagmo-move. Okay ba yun? So you have classical mechanics or Newtonian mechanics, mahati pa sa dalawa yan. Statics, objects or system that are at rest. Kasi kahit pa sabihin mong at rest, may physics pa din yan eh. May mga forces pa din yan eh. Okay? Statics tsaka yung in motion dynamics. Tapos yung dynamics na ito pa yung nahahati sa dalawa. Kinematics, ayan, tapos kinetics. Pag sinabi kong kinematics, ano lang talaga ito? Motion lang talaga. Purely motion lang. We will not we will not study the cause of motion, which is sometimes forces yan eh. Okay ba yan? Hindi dinidiscuss yung forces sa kinematics. Pero yung mga forces yung mga forces in relation to motion, i-discuss natin yan sa kinetics. Laws of motion yan. Okay? So again, classical mechanics or Newtonian mechanics, mahati yan sa dalawa. You have statics at rest, tsaka dynamics in motion. Tapos yung dynamics, dalawa pa din. Kinematics, ito, motion lang yan, motion lang. And then kinetics, motion and forces, yung laws of motion. Okay? So, start tayo with kinematics. Okay, so when you talk about motion class, by definition, ito yung pinaka-simplest definition ng motion, the change of place or position with respect to a point of reference. Okay? With respect to a point of reference. Ayan, naka-highlight class yung point of reference. Bakit? Kasi yun yung yun yung magdedetermine whether an object is in motion or not. Okay? So sabi dyan, motion daw is relative to point of reference. Okay? Punta nga kayo sa Mentimeter saglit. Mentimeter.com. Yan. So, sana nakita nyo yung yung website mentimeter.com. Punta kayo dyan saglit. Tapos sagutan ito. Based doon sa definition Okay, so ano nga ulit yung definition natin ng motion? The change of place or position with respect to a point of reference. Motion daw is relative to point of reference. So the question is this. Is it possible for two cars having equal and constant velocity to be at rest? So imagine I have two cars, tapos yung dalawang sasakyan na iyon, side by side. Okay ba yan? Side by side. Tapat, magkaganyan. And they are moving with equal velocity. Right? Pag sinabi kong equal velocity, syempre may direction yun. They are moving towards the same direction with equal and constant speed. So, the question is, are the two cars in motion? Is it possible for two cars of the same velocity, say 10 meter per second, to be at rest? Possible ba sila na yung dalawang car mo, A and B, same velocity, constant, 10 meter per second, towards the same direction, pero at rest? No? Pwede ba yun? So what do you think? I-ready yung explanation. Again, two cars, same velocity, 10 meter per second. Medyo mabilis yan Kasi meter per second, hindi naman yan kilometer per hour Medyo mabilis yan. Side by side, constant velocity, same direction. Possible ba na sila ay at rest? Wala. 15 lang ang o yung iba, medyo nahirapan sa connection. Okay, so 60% sabi 60% ng 15 sabi possible daw yun at rest. And then 40% naman no daw. Wala yung option 3 who wants to answer? Meron ba? Sino pwedeng sumagot niyan? Mag-explain. Who answers yes? Yes, they are possible. Meron? Wala din. Tatahimik niyo Tawag ako
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, clarify ko lang po. Ano
Okay,
po ba yun? Di ba po yung car is same velocity po, right? Then yung speed po nila is 10 meter per second, if I'm
Yes,
mistaken.
10 meter per second. Same direction din. Constant.
Yeah, ano po yung question? Kung sila po
Possible ba that they are at rest
Hindi po.
Okay, and sige, you explain your answer.
Kasi po, para hindi po sila rest. Kasi po meron po tayong speed na nakalagay doon
Okay. Okay, that's the idea. Nagets ko yung point mo, Okay, so yung iba, meron bang idea kayo dyan? Pwedeng i-share? Okay, so tingnan nyo itong definition So, again, balikan natin yung definition, syempre, para masagutan natin yun. The change of place or position with respect to a point of reference. So, motion daw is relative to point of reference. Ibig sabihin, para masabi mo na in motion or at rest yung isang bagay, you have to consider this point of reference. Okay ba yun? Ngayon, possible ba yun? Two cars, equal same velocity, 10 meter per second. Possible ba na to be at rest? The answer is possible yun. Yes, of course. Okay? So, yes, it's possible. Paano nangyari yon? Kasi, imaginein mo kung ang point of reference ni car A is car B. And the point of reference of car B is car A. So, dahil sila ay same velocity, constant, with respect to each other, they will not be moving. Hindi sila mag-uunahan kasi constant velocity. Okay ba yan? So, kung ang point of reference ni car A is car B, at ang point of reference ni car B ay car A, then both of them are at rest. Kasi, with respect to each other, they are not moving. Kasi nga, constant yung velocity. Hindi sila lalayo sa isa't isa. That's the idea. Diba yan? Sana malinaw Pero, syempre, ano mo naman, pag ang ginawa mong point of reference dyan ay, for example, a house along the road, a tree, a milestone, let's say, an observer at the top of the hill, syempre, they are in motion. Kasi with respect to those point of references, gumagalaw sila. Masasabi mo lang na motion yung isang object or yung isang bagay, depende sa point of reference. Okay? O halimbawa kayo, you are not in motion with respect to your room. Siguro with respect to your chair, your phone, your laptop, your table. At rest kayo dyan. Pero with respect to the sun, di ba? You are moving kasi yung earth ay revolving around the sun. Okay ba yan? So, again, point of reference, very important. Criteria for you to say whether an object is in motion or not. Okay? Early ideas of motion, a little bit of history, ano? So, sa kinematics, tatlo lang naman yung pag-aaralan talaga natin eh. Horizontal, vertical, tsaka trajectory motion. Okay? Horizontal motion, yung mga cars. Vertical motion, yung mga free fall, bumabagsak. Tapos, trajectory motion, yung mga curvilinear, nagka-curve na motion. Like basketball, for example. Okay, so, early ideas, dalawa yan, ano? Aristotle and Galileo Galilei. Okay? So, for horizontal motion, ito yung idea ni Aristotle, ano? Sabi niya, at rest daw is the natural state of matter. Kailangan mo daw ng force to produce motion, which makes sense. Halimbawa, table at rest, gagalaw lang yan pag tinulak mo. Okay ba yan? Parang lahat ng bagay sa surrounding mo, for example, nasa kwarto kayo ngayon, or you look around, di ba? All objects are at rest. Unless siguro kung may electric fan dyan na nakasaksak, gagalaw-galaw. Pero pag tiningnan mo, lahat ng objects sa paligid mo right now ay at rest. Okay? So parang itong idea ni Aristotle makes sense. At rest is the natural state of matter kasi lahat naman at rest, di ba? Tapos kailangan mo daw ng force to produce motion. Again, it makes sense din kasi yung mga objects sa surrounding mo, sa yung table mo, yung kama mo, yung kung ano mang objects diyan, gagalaw lang yan if you apply force. Okay ba 'yan? So, the idea of Aristotle makes sense. Okay? Pero in today's standard, it is actually proven to be wrong. Paano nangyari 'yon? Kasi mas tama yung idea ni Galileo Galilei. Instead na at rest, ang natural state daw lang lahat ng bagay ay in motion. Sir, paano nangyari 'yon? Yung nasa paligid ko nga, at rest, tapos sasabihin ni Galileo Galilei, in motion. Okay? Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyong very non-intuitive. Parang it defies our observation. Okay ba yan? So, ano yung explanation dyan? May idea kayo? Anyone? Yung explanation dyan, bakit ba, okay, all objects dapat daw in motion, pero bakit sila at rest? Okay? Magigilang silang at rest lang sila ngayon kasi there is something that prevents it from moving. And that something is called friction. Okay? Kung naalala niyo yung junior high concept niyo ng friction. Sabi ni Galileo Galilei, hindi eh. Dapat lahat ng object, gagalaw yan eh. Okay? Nakahinto lang yan kasi may friction. Pero without friction, okay? Without friction, those objects in your surrounding will move at a constant velocity. Okay ba yan? I have an example for that eh. Are you familiar with with table hockey? Yung kung napunta kayo sa mga quantum, yung sa mga fun time ganyan. Meron doong table na na air hockey. Search nga natin. Air hockey. Kapag hinulugan mo ng coins, doon mo pa lang siya, ayan, ganyan have you experienced playing that sa mga sa mga fun time, ganyan, quantum sa SM? Okay? Gagana lang yan, syempre, well of course naman, gagana lang yan pag hinulugan mo ng token. Pero if you are observant enough, kapag hindi mo yan hinulugan ng token, at in-slide mo yung cheat, yung bilog, yung pamatok, magaspang. Kumbaga, hindi gagalaw. Pero once hinulugan mo ng token, what will happen is, magi-slide na yung chip, yung pinaka-token niyan. Paano nangyari yun? Kasi, kung na-observe nyo, kung hinawakan mo yung surface ng table, meron doong very small pinholes, maliliit na butas. Okay ba yun? Kaya siya tinawag na air hockey kasi magpapump ng hangin yun palabas sa surface. Ang mangyayari sa chip mo, kahit papano, medyo magpo-float siya ng sobrang kaunti lang. Magpo-float siya ng ganun. Kaya naman mag-i-slide na siya. O imagine kung very clever kung paano nila naisip na kahit papaano, at least 95% ma-eliminate yung friction. Sir, anong point mo? Ang point ko dito, kung walang friction, then all object will slide at a constant velocity. Okay ba yun? O sana na-gets yun, Yun yung idea ni Galileo Galilei. Pag na-eliminate mo yung friction 100%, which is impossible of course in our physical world, walang paraan para ma-eliminate mo yung friction 100%. Okay? So wala. Siguro up to 90%, 95%, kagaya nung sa table, kailangan pampalutangin yung chip, yung object para lang kahit paano mabawasan yung friction, At nung junior high kayo, may mga ways of eliminating friction, like applying lubricant, ganyan. Marami yan, Pero the point is this, without friction, all objects will move at a constant velocity. Nakahinto lang yan because of friction. Okay ba yan? Force is not needed to produce motion. Totoo yan. Dahil gagalaw yung isang object kahit hindi mo ina-applyan ng force, provided na walang friction. Okay ba yan? So that is the idea about horizontal motion. Ang natural state talaga ng object ay in motion, hindi talaga at rest. Although, pag tinanong mo yung mga non-scientists, ano yan, parang kagaya ni Aristotle yan. Uy, ang natural state ng objects at rest kasi tumingin ka sa paligid mo, lahat naman nakatigil. Hindi nila alam, nakatigil yan because of friction. Tanggalin mo yung friction, all object will move. Outer space, for example. Vacuum. Okay, wala namang friction doon Yung mga spacecraft ba kailangan pa ng ang magpapagalaw ba sa kanila yung rocket propulsion kapag nasa outer space na? Hindi yung rocket propulsion, gagana lang yun kapag nandito pa sa Earth para mapataas mo yung rocket mo. Matalo mo yung escape velocity. Pero kapag nasa outer space ka na, hindi nagagana yung rocket propulsion kasi vacuum yun. Anong itutulak nung booster? Wala maitutulak yan doon kasi nga vacuum It's empty space. Okay? Kaya naman ang motion doon is constant velocity. Okay? Walang friction. Sana nag-gets yung horizontal motion vertical motion. Heavier object fall first than lighter object. Ito, for sure, very familiar tong problem na to sa sa junior high, Sabi, what will happen if you drop two objects of different masses from the same height? Ihulog mo daw yon at exactly the same time. What do you think will happen? Wait lang Who wants to answer? Explain nga kayo ng isa. Tawag ako baka kasi mamaya wala na pala akong kausap dito. What do you think, Miss Cassandra May? Nandyan ka ba ngayon?
Yes po, sir.
Ito yung question. Two objects were dropped from the same height. Yung objects na yun are of different masses. Isa magaan, isa mabigat. Which one will strike the ground first?
Yung mas mabigat po, sir.
Okay, yung mas mabigat. Of course, in everyday experiences, yun talaga yung nakikita natin. So, tama yun. In everyday experiences. Okay? Pag sinabi kong in everyday experiences, ibig sabihin, in this kind of system, heavier object will fall first than lighter objects. Kasi, in this kind of system, sa physical world, merong friction Merong air drag, air friction, air resistance, whatever you call them. Friction pa din, air. Okay? Pero sabi ni Galileo Galilei, yung lahat daw ng objects will fall at the same rate regardless of their masses. Kulang pala to eh. Provided that there is no air friction. Okay? Provided that there is no friction. Friction. Or air resistance or air drag. Lahat ng object will fall at the same time. Right? In-experiment na yun eh sa moon. A feather, balahibo. A feather and a nail were dropped from the same height in the moon. Siyempre, alam mo naman doon sa buwan, wala namang atmosphere yun. Vacuum pa din, di ba? So, kapag hinulog mo yon, feather and the nail, okay, both of them will strike the ground at the same time. They will fall at the same rate. Okay ba yan? Provided that there is no air friction. Okay. Pero siyempre, gawin mo yan sa open field dito sa Earth, for example. Eh, wala yan. Feather and nail. Kitang-kita mo naman that the nail will fall first. Because of the air. Siyempre, yung feather mo will move in this manner. There is this experiment on YouTube. Panoorin nyo yun kasi maganda yon. Isang malaking dome, tinanggal nila yung vacuum. Sorry. Tinanggal nila yung air to produce vacuum. And then vinidyo nila in slow motion. Ewan ko napanood nyo na yun, pero I hope napanood nyo na yun. Time kayo diba? Dapat curious kayo sa mga ganyan, mga scientific concepts. So, ayun, isang malaking dome, tinanggal nila yung hangin, and then nag-drop sila ng feather and nail. And binidyo nila in a slow motion, both of them fall at the same rate. Okay ba yun? Kung nasa classroom sana tayo, magandang eksperimento, magandang activity. Kasi may gamit tayo doon. Meron tayo doong vacuum tube. May vacuum tube tayo. Tapos meron tayong pantanggal ng air molecules. Vacuum pump. Okay? Tatanggalin natin yung hangin doon sa tube para maging vacuum yun. And then, pero syempre, lalagyan muna natin ng objects of different masses. Okay? Paper and clip, for example, paper and nail. Last time na ginawa namin last year, paper and nail ang ginawa namin eh. Tinanggal namin yung air, and then sa tube na yun, ganito kahaba. From that, pag minug mo ng ganyan, pag binalibaliktad mo, kitang-kita mo talaga na yung nail na yon, yung iba paper clip ang ginamit. Nail na yon and paper really fall at the same time. Maganda sana ang eksperimento eh. Kaso wala in this kind of setup. Imagine nyo na lang. Okay, trajectory motion. The path of a projectile is yung path daw ng projectile. Pag sinabing projectile class, yun yung objects that are moving in a curvilinear motion. Ay, yung pa-curve. Pag nag-throw ka ng ball, for example, pag nag-throw ka ng piece of stone or pebble, syempre, they will move in a curvilinear motion. Sabi ni Aristotle, yung projectile daw ay result ng single trajectory motion. Okay ba yun? Isang motion lang daw yun. Pero sabi naman ni Galileo Galilei, hindi, yung projectile daw is a result of two independent motion. Okay ba yun? Two independent motion. Okay, tingnan nyo to. Okay, sana nakikinig pa kayo punta ulit kayo sa Mentimeter. Tingnan to. Meron daw dalawang objects, they will release simultaneously from the top of a tower. Okay ba yun? Let's say yung object natin is a bullet, bala, ng baril, and a golf ball. Okay ba yun? One was fired from a gun, the other was dropped vertically downward. Pero you do that simultaneously. Halimbawa, you're at top of the tower, you're holding a gun. Joke lang. Dito nakaharap syempre sa horizon. Tapos yung ball dito. You pull the trigger, and at the same time, you drop the golf ball. Diba? Which one will strike the ground first? Baka hindi ma-imagine. Tingnan. Pagtyagaan nyo na itong drawing ko, ha? Medyo maganda talaga ako mag-drawing, eh. Let's say, ito yung tower mo. And then, ito ka sa tuktok. Kalutang. Holding a gun. And golf ball. Diba yan? So you pull the trigger. The bullet took this path. Okay ba yan? And then at the same time, simultaneously, when you pull the trigger, you also drop the golf ball. You know golf ball, yung medyo mabigat na na bola. Ito naman yung path ng golf ball ninyo. Dapat straight yan. Straight dapat yan. Medyo, ayan. Napalaki yung golf ball. Okay. Imagine so the green dotted line is the path of the golf ball, while the red dotted line, broken line, is the path of the bullet. Okay? So ito yung bullet. Ang hirap mag-drawing. Sorry. Ito yung golf ball. Ito naman yung bullet. Golf ball. Okay? Tingnan natin. Medyo hati ang opinion ng... Okay, so which one will strike the ground first? Alin ang mauuna? What do you think? Yung bullet ba? Siyempre, because of the initial velocity, let's say, ang muzzle, pag sinabi mong velocity ng bullet, we call, in physics, we call it muzzle velocity. Yung bullet mo, siguro, kung yun let's say, revolver, nasa around 300 to 400 meter per second. Bilis nun. Horizontally. Pero syempre, babagsak. May gravity. Yung golf ball naman, ibagsak mo lang ng diretso, vertically downward. Which one will strike the ground first? Who wants to explain their answer? Sagot nga ng isa. Anyone? Wala. Tawag ako. What do you think, Miss Jana? Althea? Nandiyan ka ba?
Sir? Sir, yung sagot ko po ay yung both po.
Both of them will strike the ground at the same time. Why is that? Despite their path?
Kasi po naisip ko po yung sa may gun po, parang may force pa po siya. Tapos yung sa ball naman po, parang magpa-fall lang po siya. Tapos parang mag-strike the ground at the same time po sila. Yun lang po yung naisip ko.
I see. Okay, how about others? Isa na lang, last. How about, wala? Anyone? Angelo. Jose. Diyan ka ba? Wala. Okay, so
Sir,
the correct answer... Yan.
Sir, ano po uli yung tanong? Pwede pong paulit.
Okay. So yung question natin is this. Yung paint natin na to. You pull the trigger daw. Tinapat mo sa horizon yung horizontally yung gun. Ito ka. And then you pull the trigger. Siyempre, ito yung path ng bullet mo. Projectile. Yung red. Tapos, at the same time that you pull the trigger, you also drop the golf ball. Binagsak mo din yung golf ball. Siyempre, yung golf ball, vertically downward yan. So, alin daw yung mauunang bumagsak sa ground? Ito ang ground. Alin daw ang unang babagsak sa ground?
Yung golf ball po, sir.
Why is that? Pa-explain na lang ng konti.
Yung ano po kasi, tawag dito. Yung bullet po kasi parang meron siyang parang mas tawag dito. Mas mataas po yung force na in-apply sa bullet. So mas malayo pa po yung mata-travel niya bago siya mag-fall downward. Kumpara po dun sa golf ball na mabigat na. Tapos direct downward po yung yung direction na
Galaw niya, no? Yung motion
bagsak.
niya.
Apo.
Nagets ko yung idea mo, no? Pag tinanong mo yung mga non-scientist talaga, no? Ang isasagot talaga nila, the golf ball will strike the ground first. Kasi syempre pag nakita mo na lang tong diagram Kasi syempre yung golf ball diretsong bagsak na yan di ba? Compare mo sa bullet na ang layo pa ng pagdadaanan bago bumagsak. Okay? So ganun naturally yung mga sagot. Pero kasi you have to consider class yung gravity. You have to consider the gravity. Tingnan mo to. Yung sabi ni Galileo, yung projectile daw, yung motion ng vertical ay resulta ng dalawang magkahiwalay na motion. Okay, independent motion. Isang vertical motion at isang horizontal motion. Okay, anong ibig kong sabihin? Ang ibig kong sabihin, habang si bullet gumagalaw in this direction, habang gumagalaw siya in this direction, siya ay bumabagsak din na kagaya ng pagbagsak ni golf ball. Nagets ba yun? Kaya ako sinabing magkahiwalay na motion yun. While the bullet is moving horizontally, at the same time, bumabagsak din siya pababa, downward. Ang result, projectile, curvilinear. Okay? Pero yung curvilinear na yon, again, resulta ng dalawang independent motion. While the bullet is moving horizontally, nabagsak din siya. At gaano kabilis yung pagbagsak niya? Kaparehas ng pagbagsak ni golf ball. Okay? So as a result, both of them will strike the ground at the same time. Okay ba yan? So both of them will strike the ground at the same time. Sana na-gets yun hiwalay ang vertical motion sa horizontal motion. Gagalaw siya horizontally, yes, because of the initial velocity. Mabilis yung bullet na yun around 300 to 400 meter per second na muzzle velocity. Ang bilis niya, horizontal it will move. Pero while it is moving, babagsak din siya because of gravity. Diba yun? Ang point ko, yung pagbagsak ni bullet, same ng rate ng pagbagsak ni golf ball, which is 9.8 meter per second every second. Constant. Okay? Sana na-gets nyo na. Okay, so for almost 2,000 years, people believe in the idea of Aristotle. And why is that? Despite kahit na may mga errors ito si Aristotle, kahit medyo mali talaga kung tutuusin. Kahit na mali yung ideas niya, yung pa din yung pinapaniwalaan ng mga tao from 500 BCE hanggang 1500. And why is that? Well, simply because Aristotle was a Greek philosopher. He was very famous, very intelligent. Although sa physics medyo sablay yung mga ideas niya, pero in other fields like biology, ang laki ng contribution niya sa biology. Siya kaya ang unang nag-classify ng living organism. Okay? Sa kanya kaya yung unang classification bago pa si Linnaeus ng 1700s. Si Aristotle muna. Plant, animals, tapos yung may backbone, sinong walang backbone, na animals, fish, and other. Basta sa classification, siya yung pinaka-nauna. Pero when it comes to physics, medyo sablay most of his ideas or concepts. Medyo sablay. Alright? Okay, so rectilinear translation. Pag sinabi mong rectilinear translation class, the path of a moving body is a straight line. Okay? So rectilinear, straight line. Curvilinear, curve. Okay? So rectilinear translation, dalawa yan vertical nga, tsaka yung horizontal. Pero ito muna mga ideas na to. So first is speed. Review niyo yung concept niyo nung junior high. Speed is the rate of motion of an object. It is scalar quantity. Wala siyang direction. Walang direction. Okay ba yun? So speed is equal to distance traveled divided by time elapsed. D over T. Distance is always greater than 0, time is always greater than 0, and speed is always greater than 0. I mean, it's always positive. It's always positive. Wala kasing direction siya eh. Diba? Magkakaroon lang naman ng direction plus, magkakaroon lang naman ng negative value kapag may direction. Alala yung vectors. Diba? May mga negative value tayo doon eh because of the direction. Pero kapag walang direction, kapag scalar lang, walang negative yan, laging positive. Okay? Distance is positive, time, lalo na time is always positive kasi it always moves forward. Meron bang, yun yung reason kung bakit ang time ay scalar, hindi siya vector. Okay, so average speed, in getting the average speed class, average speed is the total distance traveled divided by total time elapsed. Total distance traveled divided by the total time elapsed. Simple lang yung speed eh. You look at this example. A person starts from Tagaytay. Let's say for example, lumuwas kayo, pumunta kayong Manila, may sasakyan kayo, drive to Manila. In-approximate ko lang yan, not sure if it is 75 km away para ang Tagaytay to Manila. Hindi ko sinerch, in-approximate ko lang. In-estimate ko lang. You drive to Manila from Tagaytay, let's say 75 km yung layo. Okay? Tapos nag-drive ka for around 2 hours. Siguro traffic to, no? True. And sakto lang pala, 2 hours. Pag traffic, abutin ka ng 3 hours. So, 2 hours to Manila, 75 km per hour. Okay? So, and then pagdating mo sa Manila, nagstay ka dun ng 1 hour. I don't know, siguro nag-lunch ka. Kumain ka siguro. Gusto mo ng magandang restaurant, pumunta ka sa Manila para mag-lunch. Or siguro, alibawa, may sunduin ka sa airport. Ayan. Yun na lang, may sunduin ka sa airport. You stay there for 1 hour. And then, you go back to your hometown, Tagaytay, for another 2 hours. So, another 75 km. Okay ba yun? So, again, nag-drive ka pa Manila, 2 hours, 75 km. Nag-stay ka ng 1 hour. 1 hour wait, ayan. And then, bumalik ka for another 2 hours, another 75 km. Then, what will be your average speed? Will be your average speed. Okay? Wait lang Okay, so a person starts from Tagaytay, drives to Manila 75 km per 2 hours, stays in Manila for 1 hour, then speed back to Tagaytay for another 2 hours. The question is, what will be your average? What will be your average speed? Punta nga kayo sa Mentimeter. Then, gamitin tong code para masagutan. Ayan muna yung question. Check nyo nga sa Scratch nyo. O kahit hindi na, kaya namang iyan to. O tingnan lang tong tingnan lang to. Total distance traveled divided by total time elapsed. Okay, so ano yung ating total distance traveled? Edi 75 plus 75, ano yun? Di 150. Okay, so 150 km. Then total time elapsed. Alam nyo class, ang magiging tanong talaga dyan sa question na to is this whether we will include the 1 hour wait or not. Okay. Yun eh. Isasama ba natin yung 1 hour wait in computing the average speed? Yun yung questions talaga dyan eh. And the answer is, yes, we will include it. Bakit? Kasi total time elapsed. Big sabihin, isama mo lahat ng time throughout doon sa distance covered mo. Okay ba 'yon? Gaano mo katagal na cover yung total distance na 'yon? So, isasama mo siya, yung 1 hour wait. Sa total time elapsed. Kahit kung pasabihin na traffic ka dyan ng 1 hour, 2 hours, kasama pa din yun. Total time elapsed pa din yun. Kahit pasabihin nagstay ka sa Manila ng 1 hour, kasama pa din yun. Total time elapsed. Okay ba yan? So you have 75 plus 75, 150 divide by 2 plus 2, 4 divide by 5 hours. Kasama yung 1. What's the answer? Ayun, so tama. 30. Paunti na ng paunti nagkakas ng both. 30 kilometer. At least we get 100%. 30 kilometer per hour. Okay. Anong point ko? Anong point ko dito? Simple lang ha. Ang point ko dito, in getting the average speed, yung total distance travel, i-divide mo sa total time elapsed. Ibig sabihin, lahat ng time na in-spend mo to cover that particular distance, kahit pa na-traffic ka, kahit pa nag-stay ka ng matagal doon, still is included. Okay ba yan? Okay, so velocity naman. Pag sinabi mong velocity class, ito yung rate of motion with direction. Okay? So, ito ang velocity, pag sinabing velocity, speed siya na merong direction. Wait lang ha. Pag hindi natin to natapos, video lectures na lang yung discussion na sunod. Ang speed kasi class, sana kita nyo, equal to distance over time. Okay, ang velocity, displacement. Baka malito kayo sa symbol over time. Okay? So, ang point ko dito, ang D dyan ay distance. Samantalang, ang S dito, displacement. Displacement. Ayan. So, ito ay kita ba? Maliit masyado. Okay, so distance, ito naman ay displacement. Okay? So, anong pinagkaiba? Dahil displacement itong sa velocity, magkakaroon siya ng direction kasi class ang displacement ay ay distance na may direction. Tingnan nyo ha, anong pinagkaiba ng distance at displacement? O you look on this. Let's say for example, you walk from point A to point B. Okay, and then from point B you turn right. Tapos you continue walking papunta sa point C. Okay, and then from point C dumire-diretso ka up to point B. Okay ba yan? A to B, B to C, C to D. Ayun, so that's right. So ano yung magiging mong distance dyan? Okay? Let's say ito ay 5 meters. Let's say ito ay 10 meters. Let's say ito ay another 5 meters syempre. Okay? So ang total distance mo dyan is 5 plus 10 plus 5 ay of course 20 meters. Okay? Pero yung displacement mo na S, ay magiging equal sa pag sinabi mo kasing displacement parang how much you were displaced from your original position. Okay ba yan? From the word displaced. So kung ang original position mo ay A at ang final position mo ay D, edi yung displacement mo would be this. Ayan o. Gaano kakalayo na displace from your original position? Okay? So, ang displacement mo would be around 10 meters only. Okay ba yun? Sa velocity, magkakaroon ng direction because of the displacement. Kasi ang displacement, kailangan may direction. Pag nilagyan mo ng direction yan, 10 meter towards east. Ayun. Kaya naman ang velocity, ang nature niya, may direction. Because of the displacement, kailangan may direction. Ang speed naman ay scalar, walang direction. Kasi naman, distance lang ang ginagamit sa kanya. Ang distance, wala naman direction yan. Pag sinabi mong distance, ito yung total na length na na-cover mo, regardless of the direction. Pero pag sinabi mong displacement S, okay, pag sinabi mong displacement S, ito yung distance mo from your original position up to your final position. Okay ba yun? So, distance and displacement. Nagets ba? Sana nagets yun, ha? What if ganito? What if ikaw ay nagdire-diretso from point D, you continue walking papunta sa original position mo. Yan. What if ganyan, ano? You walk from point A to point B to point C to point D and then you go back to your original position. Your distance, total distance covered will be 10, 20, 30. Would be 30. 30 meter. Okay? Kasi nga, pag sinabi mong distance, ay total length na na-cover mo. 5, 10, plus 5, plus another 10, 10, 20, 30. Pero yung, notice yung displacement, kung anong magiging displacement mo. The question is, bumalik ka sa original position, na-displace ka ba? Hindi ka na-displace, ano yung distance from your original to your final position? Ay di 0. Okay ba yan? 0. Wala, hindi ka na-displace. 0. Sana na-gets yun, Ang point ko dito, class, ang velocity may direction because of its nature, because of the displacement ang gamit sa kanya. Na ang displacement ay symbol S. Huwag kayong malito sa mga symbol. Ang symbol ng displacement ay S. Sir, speed yan, di ba? O speed yan. S is equal to D over T. Pero when we talk about velocity, S is the displacement. Ewan ko ba kung ang dami-daming letter naman bakit tulad-tulad pa yung ginagamit nila sa mga books, ano? Nagas yung displacement, distance is the total length covered. Pero pag sinabi mong displacement, distance from your original position to the final position. Distance from the beginning to end. Or yung how much you are displaced from your original position. Kaya naman, pag bumalik ka sa pinanggalingan mo, then your displacement is 0. Okay ba yun? Okay, i-last muna natin to. Tingnan mo tong number 3. What is the average velocity of the person in sample problem number 1? Teka lang, Again, Mentimeter. Check nyo nga to. Okay, what is the average velocity of the person in sample problem number 1? Same choices. Oops, wait lang. May nakopy yata ako na mali. Anyways, ito. What if ang question dyan, diba kanina ang question dyan, ano yung average speed? And our answer is 30. So this time, the question is, what is the average velocity of a person who drives to Manila, 70 km in 2 hours, stays in Manila for 1 hour, and then speeds back to Tagaytay for another 2 hours? Ano ngayon yung iyong average velocity? Paki-vote nga ako. Okay, so of course, the correct answer is, alam naman na yata ng lahat yan. The correct answer is 0. Sir, paano naging 0? Paano naging 0? O, kasi nga, you go back to your original position. So, ang displacement mo na kagad doon is, yung change in position mo na kagad doon ay 0. O, no matter how large the time is, 0 divided by any number ay di 0. Okay ba yun? O, ganun lang naman. Okay, so it's 9 already. Paantay yung magiging upload ko sa YouTube ng discussion na ito, change in velocity. The rest of the discussion. Okay, madali lang yan, madali lang intindihin yan. Marami lang symbol na ganyan. For example, itong limit. Hindi naman natin talaga gagamitin yan sa problem solving. Okay. So, basahin ang handouts and then panoorin yung video lectures ko. Okay ba yan?